Thank you so much. I didn't expect all of that introduction. Thank you so very much. Well, it is so wonderful. I am so happy and delighted to see all of you this morning. And you look so beautiful. I honor God and I give him my highest praise. And I thank him for being alive. And I know you also. Great honor to our lovely General Supervisor, Mother Barbara McCoo Lewis. Thank you. And to our precious Supervisor Emeritus, Mother Willie Mae Rivers. My friend, Mrs. Louise Patterson, longtime friend, over 45 years. Thank you so very much. And high regards to you, Madam Doris Brooks, General Board Wives. I'm happy to see all of you. And Mother, Mrs. Dr. Juliet White. We are so happy to see her. And we missed you, Dr. White. You know, Bishop Blake gave us a wonderful theme for the year, the church seasoning the world. During this past year, as I thought about this theme, I could not help but think about a little story that I had read. Now, I shared this story once before to a smaller group, but not in this same context. Now, let me share it again because it can have many, many meanings. Now, a young woman was complaining to her father about how difficult her life had become. She complained, and she complained. He said nothing, but took her to the kitchen and set 3 pans of water on the stove to boil. In the first pan, he put carrots. In the second pan, he put in eggs. And in the third pan, he put in ground coffee beans. After the 3 had boiled, he then put their contents into 3 separate bowls. And then he asked his daughter to cut into the eggs, to cut into the carrots, and to smell the coffee. She became impatient and asked him, "Daddy, Daddy, what does this mean?" Each food, he told her, teaches us something about trouble and problems. The hot water represents trouble, problems, and difficulty. The carrots went in hard, but came out soft and weak. The eggs went in soft and fragile, but came out hardened. The coffee went in and changed the hot water into something better. So he asked her, "Which one will you be like as you face life? Will you become soft like the carrot and buckle under pressure? Will you become hard like the eggs and give up? Or like the coffee, will you transform adversity and trouble and triumph into success?" Now, the coffee is what I want to focus on right now. Think about how coffee affects water. It goes in the water dry, and after being in hot water, it remains unchanged in its nature. Not only does it retain the shape and firmness, as you know, coffee is one of the world's most widely consumed beverages. American coffee drinkers drink on the average of 3.5 cups of coffee a day. People drink over 500 billion cups of coffee a year. It is a major cash crop. It is worth over $100 billion worldwide. Coffee shops are fast growing, and they are popping up everywhere around you. Starbucks, America's coffee giant, is the third largest restaurant chain in the United States. And I know that the Starbucks company would like to thank Chairlady Supervisor George Rogers for helping it to get that way. Whenever she comes into Los Angeles or West Angeles, we have to stop her by a Starbucks before we get to where we are going. Coffee is more than popular. It is universal. It is everywhere. It is worldwide. No other beverage is as revered or respected as coffee. It changes the color and the taste of hot water to something better. It changes the water in such a powerful and influential way that the water can no longer be called water. It has to be called coffee. Now, how many of you are coffee drinkers? Coffee is something that at least 4 out of 5 people like. And in some cases, it has such a strong draw or taste attraction that some people are so, well, I don't want to say addicted or dependent, but they just have to have their coffee before they start their day. It is a household name in homes and families. Now, years ago, Bishop and I decided that we would take our 3 little children out to dinner. They were 10, 6, and 4. But no matter where we decided to go, little Elder Lawrence Blake, who spoke on Wednesday night, who was the 4-year older, never agreed to where the rest of us wanted to go, and always wanted to go somewhere different. And even if we decided to go where he wanted to go, he would change his mind and want to go somewhere else. If we wanted to go to Burger King, he wanted to go to McDonald's. If we wanted to go to McDonald's, he wanted to go to Taco Bell. If we wanted Chinese food, he wanted Mexican food. So one time, we had just had about enough of little Larry. So this one time, we ignored him and went to the restaurant where everyone wanted to go. And was he upset? The waitress took everyone's order while he sat there steaming and mad. So she took all of our orders, and so she got to him. She said, "Now, little fella, what would you like to eat?" And he was so upset and so angry. He looked up at her and said, "I don't want anything on this menu and in this place. Just bring me a cup of coffee." Of course, I quietly told the waitress, "Just bring him a hamburger." At 4 years old, he knew nothing about the taste of coffee. All he knew was that he saw people drinking coffee. And you are probably wondering by now, where am I coming from and where am I going? Well, I would like to compare the coffee as well as salt to us, the saints and the church. The term salt is used to refer to us as saints. The coffee, in a way, can be compared to salt in that it adds flavor to food. And as we know, the coffee adds color and a bit of flavor to hot water. Just as the coffee has many different flavors and varieties to customize it to your taste, so do we with our seasoning of the world. Then Jesus proclaims in Matthew 5:13 that each one of us is the salt of the earth. The church and each one of us can season the world right where we are in our everyday lives. Now, let's bring it down to everyday living now. We need to know what can be classified as salt, seasoning, in everyday language. And how do we season the world to make it better in our particular areas? And as a little girl, I would hear, saints season the world, saints season the world. And I just wondered, how does a person season the world? Just like you would season food. How does that happen? It became a cliche, saints seasoning the world. So I came up with my own explanation. And I personally feel that the fruit of the Spirit found in Galatians 5:22 can be classified as salt seasoning and can be our salt shaker. We have many different varieties and seasonings in our fruit of the Spirit salt shaker. We have love. Love is a seasoning. Joy, radiating joy to others, is a seasoning. Peace, being a peacemaker and not a peace breaker, is seasoning. Patience, enduring, tolerating, and suffering some of the things and putting up with difficult people, that's seasoning. Kindness, thoughtfulness, helpfulness is seasoning. Sympathy, compassion, goodness, integrity, honesty, decency, righteousness. All of these are seasonings that you can use on others as you come in contact with them. Faithfulness, being reliable, loyal, dependable. Gentleness, being calm and not harsh and rough. Self-control, having strength, restraint, and discipline over your mind and your tongue and your actions. Kind words and smiles are seasonings to discourage persons and those whose lives have no meaning. The following, I feel, are also good salt seasonings from our fruit of the Spirit salt shaker. A peaceful attitude can counteract cruelty. Our good deeds and actions can counteract wickedness. Our optimism can counteract hatefulness. Our kindness can counteract unkindness. Our love can counteract. Our love can counteract hatred. And our bright light is a seasoning that can counteract darkness and spread sunshine in our area. Now, Matthew 5:14 says, ye are the light of the world. And Matthew 5:16, let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and that they may see you seasoning the area where you occupy and glorify your Father which is in heaven. Now, our love for Christ ought to be contagious. Win people and make them salty like us. We are the good tasting salt of the earth. We would be able to season the world. If each of the thousands of saints would be like coffee beans in hot water and saturate the area and spaces around you with your fruit of the Spirit salt shaker. What do you think our surrounding areas, our families, our places of employment would be like if each one of us would season from our own special fruit of the Spirit salt shaker? We would be able to season the world through osmosis. There are so many people who receive so little joy from life. Nothing they experience is really enjoyable or fulfilling to them. We saints and the church can change everything around us until we cover the world with our good flavor. We have the ability to make life positive and pleasing to people because of our seasoning that we impart to them. And like salt, coffee, latte, tea, whatever, you change lives around you into something better because we all have seasonings within us that we can sprinkle on someone else. And as we season those around us from our fruit of the Spirit salt shaker, we saints can change the world. And just like the coffee bean is changed into a delicious drink that millions of people love to drink every day, just as salt changes bland food into something favorable and delicious to our taste, we saints can change the world with our flavor because we are the changing agents. We cannot let things and situations change us, but through Jesus Christ, we have the power to change the world. So I love you, ladies, and may God continue to bless you, beautiful women, as you change the world. And thank you.